Alright, it's going on 10 o'clock on casual Saturday. And Sunday means I get my hair cut. It's been a mess this week. What we're going to do today, see if we can get this downpipe and wastegate tied together. I've got a piece of slip over it already, so that'll slip in. We'll tie it in here-ish, make that wastegate go in. Alright, like I said, wastegate into downpipe. I've got this guy here tacked together. Slip fit. I've got this guy. I've already kind of chamfered to the pipe. I've got everything fit up. I can bring the welder over here and start tacking it together while it's on the car.
Alright, quick demonstration time. We're talking about tying in the wastegate. George is building the wastegate tube and tying it into the downpipe, just to kind of give you a quick heads up of what that means and what it all entails. Well, let's say here we have your engine, very crude drawing, but it's going to give you the idea. This essentially would be your exhaust manifold, turbo here. This is the pressure side, known as the compressor side. On the opposite side, you're going to have the turbine side of the turbo, which is where the exhaust gas is going to be going. So let's draw that real quick. So this is your exhaust manifold. Of course, this would be more elaborate than this. This is your turbo. This would be your downpipe. So your downpipe would be here. This is essentially now your exhaust as the car is running up the RPMs and the gas is coming out, the gas is coming out here. The wastegate's job is to keep the pressure sustained here. Let's say we want 10 psi. Well, the wastegate is essentially a valve that would tee in between the engine and the turbo. This would be your wastegate. This would be set at 10 psi. So when the pressure on this side of the wastegate was 10 psi, there is a valve in here which opens. It relieves the pressure in here, stops this turbo overspooling. So this also has a pipe coming off, almost like a small exhaust. This would only open under the boost pressure. Once you hit 10 psi, this would open. It actually starts creeping open earlier than that. Every wastegate is different. So at 10 psi, this relieves this pressure. This comes out of here. You've already got your exhaust gas spent here. Now you have this extra tube here making noise. Obviously, this is a full exhaust system, has a muffler on it. This won't have a muffler. This, everybody has their own opinion. We here personally don't like the sound of these wastegates too much. Once they open, they make their own kind of unique sound. So by tying this into the downpipe, is basically tying it back in here. So when this opens, it goes back here. There's a few ways of doing this, either with a bellow here or a flex, or the way we often do it, the way George just did it, is with a slip, which works very similar to a flex. So this is basically a larger tube on here. This goes in here, it slips, everything is allowed to expand and contract. Plus, if you take it apart, this tube slips out of here. So this is our preferred option if we can make it work, just because it's quiet. When the car goes into boost, you have the cool turbo sound and the nice whistle up front, as opposed to the wastegate opening.
And there it is, completed. Got the wastegate pipe, comes down into there. I don't have the clamp on it, but it's nice, it stays there by itself. There, a couple of 2 sensors, and I changed that 3-bolt to a V-band. This side of the V-band is titanium, because you know that this car is getting a full titanium exhaust. Time to start on the titanium exhaust. I got the back purge going, so it'll be nice and welded on the inside. And not brittle, because sometimes it gets brittle on the inside, or in general when you don't back purge it. So I'm going to start welding on it. Sometimes this work can just be so draining, if you know what I mean. Alright, so one Saturday we tied the wastegate into the dump tube, put a V-band on, and started our titanium exhaust. Goes all the way back to there. Got a hanger on it. And if you follow the exhaust all the way up to the oil pan, the drain is hooked up. Isn't that fantastic? It's been a great Saturday.
One thing important when you're working is to get as much stuff on the bench as you can. It just looks impressive when somebody comes by, they see a lot of stuff. They don't ask questions because they know you're busy.
Very busy.
Listen, it's crazy how much stuff actually builds up when you're building stuff. So, you've already saw George. He came in, he had a nice little Saturday. I'm actually quite jealous because I wish my Saturday was spent building a car. I know it kind of sounds funny, but that is usually something I really enjoy doing. So, next piece of the exhaust is, of course, to come around here. This is going to be a 90-degree bend, and typically if you look at the shape of the gas tank, you see it's not just a straight 90, it's a 45. It comes around here, makes a 45 and a 45. Of course, two 45s make a 90, but it just looks nicer as opposed to something that just kind of looks, they're, you know, close. I don't like to see a 90 and a 90 that don't really follow that shape perfect. Let me show you what that piece looks like. See how well that follows the contours of the tunnel? It just looks so nice. So over here, if we start right on this with a 45, a short straight, a 45, it follows and looks very, very factory. And it just looks, again, it looks cool. It looks like it's supposed to be there. And then of course, through this control arm, and then we're gonna put our big muffler, which is there. You saw that in an earlier episode. All right, you ready for a very, very intricate unboxing? Or sorry, unopen it. Well, too late, it's already open. George already took it apart and didn't get me time to look in there. So, one of the last videos we talked about using a Sharpie. We've used these for years. In fact, I think we bought a pack of like 30.
It's 24 for $12.
Pack of 24 for $12.
They're on sale right now for $9 at Sam's Club if anyone else is.
This isn't going to help me push these pens, George.
Well, I don't really know about those pens yet, so.
I got a bag of pens. So a really good customer just sent some Milwaukee, they're called Ink Zol. Let me get it to focus because it focuses on my face. And they're the right color. They're matching our drills and impact and look like we have a really nice tip. Anyway, he said these are way better than Sharpie. And I mean, I can't argue because he sent us a bag. So I absolutely love them already. But yeah, we'll definitely give these a go. And I mean, these seem to work fine, but they dry out pretty quick. And you can see the tip is already rolled over. Well, we're not falsing these pens. We're kind of nice with them, but they still get messed up. Where these, he was saying that the tip holds up a little bit better. You know, it's a little bit more accurate marking, especially when we're making marks on pipe. We don't want a real wide line because then it gives you maybe a degree each way for lining up and welding. So thank you very much. I'm not going to say your name because you probably don't want me to say it, but really, really appreciate it. Really do. Thank you.
What's this? That man just dropped it off.
Dropped it off. Got my Milwaukee shirt.
That's right. We hooked him up.
Have to put it through the paper.
Spreading the love.
Does it have a lifetime warranty?
I think so.
Okay.
You just gotta keep it charged.
You guys do the shirt?
Yeah.
So we can plug it. I can get it in.
That's
Yeah.
right.
All right.
What's that?
It's from Sparco, so it's more than likely adapter for the steering wheel.
Oh, something good. Something for this one, maybe?
Possibly.
Maybe.
But just have to do the one I'm working on right now, so it's a good chance.
All right, so while George is working on making a pipe fit through there, this is a sway bar off an Integra. Yes, I could put a sway bar. There is about 2-inch diameter on here, and it would be absolutely fantastic, and the car wouldn't roll. It'd be too much sway bar for the car, and it would oversteer like crazy. So with past experience and building a car with some weight reduction like this car, it actually has a lot less weight in the back. We don't need a massive sway bar. So this is an Integra sway bar. Well, one of the things, so let's get that out of the way. So you guys go ahead and comment, put 4 or 5 comments telling me how this is whatever. So As you know, these are about this far off, and these two holes here, one of the key things is you could just put a nut behind here and put your sway bar brackets here if you get the one for this car. Problem is, when you start doing hard turns, it tends to damage this and it'll even pull this sheet metal out. So you've seen a bunch of kits, they make a bar that goes across here and it ties this hole to this hole, strengthens this back section, and the sway bar attaches to that. So I'm sure they sell it and there is a kit and somebody else does this. Well, I'm gonna make it because I know what I'm looking for, and obviously it needs to be wider than those 2 points. So piece of aluminum, gonna cut it, drill 4 holes in it, sand it, drill 4 more holes, put some spacers in it, bolt it on the car.
It's time to put the back bumper on because I'm working on the exhaust. I can't see where the muffler goes without the bumper on, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that.